Welcome back to the our Unity Shaders course. We have talked about what shaders are and how they work. Now let's put that knowledge into action. We are going to dive into creating shaders using Unity Shader Graph, which is a visual based tool. Shader Graph lets you make awesome shaders without any coding. It's like building with blocks. So it is easy for everyone, artists, designers, and developers to use. At first, shader graph might look a bit complex, but it is actually designed to keep things organized and simple. We will walk through it together and get comfortable with all its parts. This tutorial will cover everything you need to know about shader graph. We will start by looking at the editor and its features. Then we will break down its four main sections and what they do. Finally, we will create an animated shader from scratch. So you can see shader graph in action and really understand how it works. Alright, let's jump into shader graph and start creating some amazing visuals in Unity. To install shader graph, we comes to Windows and Package Manager and search in the Unity registry shader graph. Okay. I already installed in my project. Otherwise, you have a, an install button. Now we need to create a new shader graph. For that, we right click, create shader graph, URP, lit shader graph. As we previously mentioned, there are different shaders available in the URP and also different available in the HDRP also. So we are looking for a very basic type of shaders. So for that we can click this unlit shader graph because this unlit shader graph now depends upon the light. So we click that and give a name unlit shader 1 or whatever name you can give. Okay. After that, you can double click it. It will open a new window. Okay, let's break this down. There are really only four parts of this window you need to know. The blackboard, this particular area is known as the blackboard, and we have a master stack. This is the master stack, contains vertex node and the fragment, and we have the inspector area, um, and we have the main preview. This is the where we see the final or the out of um, this particular shape. We can real time see it in real time, and these are some various settings. And in this blackboard, we create variables like float, different type of variables create here, and here we create various nodes. There are so many nodes are here, more than 200 nodes. We create nodes and we connect each nodes and we connect to this fragment or the shader stack. Now we can create a very base shader, which we can change this base color as we mentioned in before. For any material, we need a base color. That is a basic thing we need to create. So we click here and just change the color. You can change whatever the color as a base color. Let's say we can go for this red and we select it. Okay, so this is the only thing we are going to do in this shader. Okay, and this is the preview, and we are not going to do anything else. We just will see this button, um, this button. Okay, so we click this button. I will now show once again. So this is a save button is here. We click that, and now our shader is saved. So now our shader is saved. Now what we want is we need to create a material from this shader. So click this shader and create material. Okay. So now we create a new material, and now we look into this inspector. Now there is um, no variables to control here because we didn't put any variables. There is nothing to change. This is a very simple unlit type shaders. So we already given the color. So this material have is only this base color. Now what we have to do is we create a new plane. Okay, and we attach this material to this native object. Now our object is changed. Okay, so this material we usually didn't do this type of materials because we need to create something logically. So now we going to edit that shader again. We go to this tab, and instead of hard coding this value, we create a variable in this Blackboard. We create a color. We give the name as main color, and then we drag this a variable into this area. Now we connect this node to this base color node. Okay, so that's it. Now our variable is exposed to the inspector. Then we can change the color value in the inspector, not inside the shader graph. So we made a change. So we save this shader graph again, and we comes to the scene. Now we are installing that material. So now the material have the option to change the color. We can click here and we can change whatever color we can change here. Okay, so we create maybe we can create another material. We can create another material from the same shader, and we can give this another color, and we can put to the this plane also. Okay, so this is the very basics of a shader graph. How to create a shader graph, how to create a material from that, and how to change the variable of the shader graph, and how to attach this material to this object. In the next video, we are going to create a scrolling texture using a shader graph.